Well, it is what it is.
I like your seersucker shirt too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
You changed shirts? What happened to the flowers? Oh man, thanks. That was great.
We need to start every episode with just like a chest hair check.
No, we really don't need to do that.
We could have like a scale for these like episodes, like the unbuttons, like how many buttons should be undone for the episode? Like, is it a 1, 2, or 3 button?
Yeah, yeah. Is it by stress level? Is that what you do? How you do the buttons? And do you ever get enough to where it's just your belly button, like all the way down, but like one,
or it's
one
just up to your belly button, like it's buttoned all the way up to the top, and then you start unbuttoning from the bottom up
at the belly. That would be a look.
Mm-hmm.
What if, and if I had that and I had like a sheer dress on over it?
I think that'd be nice.
Oh, I bet you would.
Without context,
too much of an insight.
Strange.
So here's a question for you guys: what's your average like lunch on a weekday? Do you guys like buy enough stuff that you can then just make a lunch, or do you have to?
So we do Chick-fil-A Tuesday, and that's just because I think my wife's taking our kid to like the library or something, and there's a Chick-fil-A on the way back, so we do that every Tuesday. And then lately I like to do like fajitas for lunch, just because it's like I'm trying to like cut calories right now, so like we're cooking some sheet pan fajitas, last for a few days, just make a quick little fajita bowl.
So you make them in advance and then you just warm them up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like meal prepping, like we don't do it that seriously. We just try to make like a lunch that we can have for like 2 or 3 days. And then we have Chick-fil-A, and then one day is kind of just every man for himself, or woman or child, everybody for themselves.
Mike is in there whipping up an omelet.
He just kind of eats whatever. Yeah, we just try to, like make bulk something, or, we have leftovers one day for lunch or something like that. It's always hard. If we don't, I don't know. We haven't been doing a good job of grocery shopping lately.
Yeah, we haven't either. That's my whole problem. Mm-hmm. What about you, Ariel?
I like making like a lunch. I'll often have leftovers for lunch from dinner the night before, but I do like making lunch. There's something really nice about, as somebody who like normally cooks the food for everyone in the house, and lunch is like the meal of the day that is just for me. Yeah, and I can do like whatever kind of weird playing around in the kitchen.
Especially you, because like your family is like, I don't eat this and I don't eat this, and you have to like cater to all of them.
You do have a tough, you got a lot of different things going on with the family there.
Yeah,
at least I think you do. It's you got one.
I've got a vegetarian. I've got somebody who doesn't like eggs, which is, why not? But yeah, I don't know. It's just fun. Like I'll make some like weird fried rice recipe or something. It's just not even a recipe, just like throwing stuff in a pan with vegetables and, I don't know, just doing whatever I want, which is kind of fun. So
I used to be like big on making a lunch. Like I had all these sort of go-to staples for lunch. And the past several years, not only have I like not done that, I've relied on leftovers, and then now I've gotten bad about like cooking dinners, and so I don't have leftovers. So I don't know, I end up eating nothing, or like yesterday I ate like a jar of olives or
terrible.
I think today we have like 3 pieces of leftover asparagus and some, stinky gorgonzola cheese. Like, I don't know. It's just going to be very, very random. But yeah, I'm feeling like I need to really get back on my game, because I used to do little, fresh vegetable stir fries, or, a cool little Korean sandwich, or I don't know. Maybe that's something we could all aspire to together.
I feel like when you work from home, there's something really nice too about stepping away from your computer and, wherever you have it set up, and just like, I'll even try to not listen to a podcast or have any music on or anything when I'm cooking lunch. It's just like, I just want to have it quiet and just have this like moment, this peaceful moment to myself. It sounds like my day must be so stressful. It's not really, but if I, have this lunchtime sanctuary, I don't know. It's weird.
Just a moment where you can get away from us and not have to listen to our nonsense.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
And I think that's actually my hardest thing, is like, it's very hard for me to step away from my computer. Like even, I'm not even saying that in some I'm always working kind of way, but in a way I'm always working. There's always stuff in my mind. And so even like when I need to take a shower, this happens all the time where like we have a meeting at 11 o'clock. And so I know I need to shower before then. So I'll like start making my way to the shower at like 10:15. But then I'm like working and I'm going through my emails and then I'll stand there at the bathroom counter and like work. And then it's like 10:53 and I'm like, oh, I can't delay anymore. And I just jump in the shower and then I am late to the meeting by a minute. Yeah, it's hard for me to like actually say I'm going to stop working intentionally now for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a problem. Maybe I should go to therapy for that.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll go with you. We can go together. I do the same thing. I just like can't turn my brain off. But
Well, I am the team therapist, so we can just set up a meeting on the
right, that's
calendar
right.
for the both of you, okay? Could be like,
yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
need
do
to
we want
shower
to have it
beforehand.
a joint session, or are we going to do separate
like
ones?
a couples
Joint session?
we could probably use like a couples therapy and then an individual session after
And
that.
then I'll
We
get
haven't
all the
done a
real
session in
dirt.
a long time.
Yeah, and
What'd you
the
say?
question on that is, do we do our independent sessions beforehand or do we have our joint session first and then we break out? And
Oh,
I think you do your independent sessions afterwards because
Yeah.
you're going to have some feelings
Had
that
some feelings
that are
you need to
brought up.
process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Bobby said about that?
Or
I thought
Bobby
it was
could do
this way.
Bobby could do an hour with you. I could do an hour with you. Then we could do an hour together. And then I could do an hour with you. And then Bobby could do an hour with you to debrief.
Yeah,
okay
that
with
will
that?
just
Like,
be like my Thursdays from now on.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to record it all. And
Whoa. A new podcast for the company? Good.
Yeah.
We've been looking for new content.
yeah, there we go.
God, that would be a podcast. That actually might be really popular. I don't know.
Unfortunately.
Like just hearing
how much
like
I
a
let
therapy
loose.
session. Oh,
There
All right.
actually there have been some of those that I've only kind of gotten into. It's still a little creepy, but like I think Esther Perel had one where like the people consented to having their therapy sessions recorded. So it's like couples therapy.
I'd listen to that.
And it is interesting, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but I cannot imagine how it could not affect the way you talk if you know you're being recorded. Like you can never truly experience that unless you're snooping in, which is why I think that's what we should do. We should just be like tapping these rooms and secretly listening in. That's how we can really learn something.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Do you think your therapist needs therapy after they talk to you?
Yeah, and maybe
Or
like
just
isn't
generally?
that? Do you think therapists have better therapists than the average
like
person?
how did they process all of that stuff? Like if they're taking all of that, whatever.
I don't know if this is how it is everywhere, and I'm guessing it's not because some therapists are standalone. But like when I would go to sessions, there was one of the other therapists. They like would talk. So like I consented at the beginning to let my therapist talk to another therapist, partly probably just like counsel for how she could counsel me. But
She's
I'm
like,
sure
how do I
it's
deal
also-
with this?
Yeah, right. Yeah, she ended up needing to like call in several other specialists too. I don't know what that was about.
Oh,
well,
Yeah, I don't know if Ariel. I don't know if you have the artillery power. To handle
I could
this.
do it. I could do it.
she helped
Yeah.
me. I don't even remember what we talked about. What was that?
The trauma has
talked
been
about-
so healed that you don't even remember it's there anymore.
Yeah, I don't
it's
even
not even a
remember.
scar.
Scabbed over, scab's gone. You
Scabbed
I'm
know?
running into a problem where I think that my memory is just actually going away because like we've talked about, we talked about this yesterday. As soon as we record these episodes, I don't remember them anymore. And like, I don't know what that is. Just
It
goes
makes
away
me
into the
feel
ether.
bad.
Yeah, I don't like the.
Like it kind of hurts.
Yeah,
It's not personal though. I think it's more of a brain problem for me. I don't think it's I don't know. I don't think I think my hard drive or my storage is full. And I think it's just starting to delete stuff.
If you could remove some memories, some like category of stuff
yeah.
from
If
your
you
brain.
use like your disk utility tool
yeah.
to load
What-
up some section of your hard drive, what would
would
you
you
do?
get rid of?
Every parent teacher conference that I ever did when I was a teacher, those are
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
You don't
the
feel like you
worst.
grew from those? You don't feel like you grew in your patience and then your,
No, because oh man, some parents are so dumb.
Just say it. Just say it.
Yeah, they're just so. I don't know. It's like no, it was always hard because it was like, especially with high school kids, it's like you're dealing with a situation where the kids get smart enough to kind of manipulate their parents a little bit. So like they'll do something in class, they get in trouble for it. And then the parent comes in with the story that the kid told them and they just believe the kid outright. And it's just like, no, your son actually did do that. That like, I don't want to be here. Do you think that I wanted to do this? Like, I didn't want to be in this meeting with you. So like, I'm calling this meeting for a reason. Or, sometimes they want to talk to you because it's like their kid. I don't know. The kid always made up stuff. That's the problem you run into with high school kids is like, they kind of lie a lot. They do. And it's not, I mean, even the really good ones still, like they still did it too. And it was just because they don't want to get in trouble or their brain's not fully formed. I don't know what it is, but I hate, and sometimes it's just so hard to get through to parents.
Ariel, did you lie to your parents in high school?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I did too. I don't know why.
I remember. No, not the majority. My mom, I would lie to my mom. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. I would lie to her more than I'd lie to my dad.
I got an angry text message one time.
But I'd lie to my dad. I wouldn't lie to my dad because he didn't care what I did.
I actually think I did more in junior high. I was a lot more afraid of getting in trouble. I think that's a big part of it, especially like maybe junior high. I think I just didn't want to get in trouble. So I was like, I don't want people to yell at me. But then high school, I really don't think I did much as I was like 16 and up. Like, I don't think that there was really a reason to. I don't know. I was in band. I didn't really do, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you're a nerd, right?
I mean, cool? Kind of. It's like you go and what's the worst thing that band kids do? We might have like wrapped a house, like toilet papered a house. Like,
actually, I don't know. I've heard some like stories, like band camp stories that were pretty, like the band and drama departments were a little, more wild than most people thought.
I think drama is actually way more wild. Those kids got in trouble a lot more than band kids because like band kids a lot of times you get like, I don't know, they really enjoy band. Oh no, drama's probably the same. I don't know.
There like a lot of
teacher?
Isn't there like a lot of blowing in band?
I'm gonna ignore that. These are teenagers that we're talking about. The drama teacher at our high school that I taught at got fired because they went to dinner. The drama department, it was like two drama teachers. They went to dinner one night before a play, I guess. They had 6 doubles of whiskey before they went to the play.
Jeez.
Where there's like parents.
Oh
got completely loaded.
That's 12 to 24 ounces of alcohol.
It was an unbelievable, like when the administration told us the story, we were like 6 doubles. Like that is so much alcohol. That could be 9.
No, that would be.
It's a ton of alcohol. And then they searched the main guy's desk and it was just loaded with alcohol. Like he just had tons of stuff in there. And so it was just,
we had 2 girls in high school who were, a little trouble. And one day we were in first period biology, I think. And they are just like sitting in the back of the room. It's like 9:00 in the morning. And they're just like giggling and just, and like acting really weird. And so eventually I think they get called out and they're getting, asked questions. And turns out that they did that popular high school trick of soaking a tampon in vodka.
I was just wondering if that's what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I forgot that was a trend for
wild.
That is a crazy thing to do.
It is a crazy thing to do.
It's just, but that's high school kids, man. They just don't use their brain. It's like the frontal lobe. It's a real issue for them.
The first time I remember hearing about that was on a Law and Order SVU episode with like Ice-T talking about it.
Good
I'm pretty
Lord.
sure that was it. And it was like something about Ice-T talking about soaking tampons in vodka.
God, that is just a
way too much
thing.
Well, I don't think that's the questionable decision today, but maybe one day.
I will bring us to our questionable decision today. And because this one, I want to talk about it from 2 different perspectives. And so we'll start one at a time. You guys are on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I don't post anything on TikTok, but I watch TikToks.
I don't actually watch TikTok.
I used to. I don't really anymore, but I understand it.
Okay. Well, what when you're on TikTok and, you kind of fall in these like little holes on TikTok with what you're interested in. And the other day, something popped up with like side hustle ideas. And then I started watching them and fell down this rabbit hole of like this side hustle pays you $1 million in 3 hours in passive income. You know, that's like quite hyperbolic,
Heck yeah.
but you know about the kind of content I'm talking about. So I wanted to show you guys some of these. And so the questionable decision is, like I said, there's two sides to it. The first side is, as the consumer of content on TikTok, is it a questionable decision to watch these over-exaggerated videos that talk about here's how you can make money and then, you know, pursue it without much thought? And then the other side is it a questionable decision as the content creator to create content that really glosses over the reality and this, you know, the amount of effort that it takes to start these side hustles? So keep that in mind while I show you one of these. Okay. All right. I just want to say I do not like this guy already. So
Right.
There's $1 million side hustle that's so easy, a 5-year-old could do it. It can be started with no money, no LLC, and no website.
You're going to want to hear me
I'm
out.
talking about starting a print-on-demand brand. What this is that already holds the inventory and then prints it out.
Who is he talking to?
There's this company called Printful that does
He's
it
on a
all
podcast.
for you. They have all
We
the
got a
inventory
podcast,
you
he's
can
got a
imagine. They
podcast.
have every type of shirt. They have every type of hat. They got coffee mugs.
I like
they have it
that
all.
he's
So what you
just-
do is you make
I feel like
clothing
he's
designs
just-
around trending topics.
I don't think he's talking to
anything
anybody, but
basically
he
go
wants it to
viral.
look
And
like
all
he
you're going
is.
to do is list them on Wish.com, which directly
Printful?
integrates
It's not
with
Printful, it's
You can also
Printful.
use other third-party marketplaces that have all the customers.
Separate
for you.
websites,
Then when you
I
make an
guess.
order, Printful is going to print out and ship the product for you, and you have to do
All the
nothing, and you make
profits.
all the
It's
profits.
never been easier to
easier
get
get
Okay,
rich.
that's
Can you,
wildly-
first off,
yeah,
go
it's
to
wildly irresponsible.
Printful. I know Printful. I'm pretty sure that's the company he's talking about. Let's just see
It's-
if he's just straight up reading.
He could just be reading some kind of
Yeah, he
marketing
like
material
read it
from
on
them.
Reddit, and now he's going to make a.
Mm-hmm.
It's
TikTok
never
about it,
been
but just
easier to get rich. Like, so stupid.
Printful. Yeah. So
Printful.
he's an absolute idiot who's never done this. He's never even
No.
logged into here. He
No.
read it on a forum, and now he's on a podcast talking about it.
About that, you're going to
Poser.
make millions of dollars
Poser.
easily,
Yeah.
so fast.
Well, I
Do,
think
do you
they
want us
probably
to
have-
comment on this particular side hustle, or just wait for the?
Just wait. I'm gonna show
Alright.
you. I'm
Okay.
gonna show you another one.
Here's a
Check
really
this out.
easy side hustle. And the best part is you don't have to spend anything to set it up, and it'll create you passive income. First, you want to go to Pinterest.com and create a business account.
God.
After you created your free account, click on ads. Next, go ahead and find interests and keywords. Now in the search section, type in any product you want. I'm going to do t-shirts. Then look at the options that pop up and choose one that has a
Can you
high
imagine,
monthly search.
like, if somebody
Then
had
head
just like
over to
a gnarly
Canva
looking
and make a
finger
simple
that they
design.
used to point to all of this stuff?
Next, go ahead to Printful.com and create a free account.
At least it
Look
called it
for
the
a
right
t-shirt
thing.
in the catalog and put your design on it. Next, head over to Etsy and make a free account. Now in the Printful settings,
been easier to
connect
get
your
rich.
Etsy store. Now every time you get an order, Etsy will send that order to Printful, and Printful will ship out the product straight to the customer without you having to do anything. All you need to do is create a simple listing like this.
Stupid.
If we multiply the number of sales with the price, this person has made over
got his
$3
calculator
million
$3 million.
just from
$3
selling
million.
t-shirts. And like I said, this will
Oh
create
my.
you automated and passive income. If you want to know
Okay, so
my
this guy's
favorite and
handle
easiest
is
side hustle,
Clay the Hustler.
Clay the
Oh my
Hustler.
gosh.
Also, he
Okay.
said an 11-year-old can do it, and you have to be 13 years old to sign up for Pinterest. So,
Well, and the
I'm
other
gonna
guy,
sue
like
him.
I said, the other guy said you could be 5 and do
yeah,
it.
again,
Okay.
Does
that
Printful
violates
have
terms
a-
of conditions.
Does Printful
Okay.
have an affiliate program?
Oh, I'm sure
I'm
they
guessing
do.
that they do. That's what this
Here-
is.
here's- Let me show you
Go
one
ahead.
more. Okay, I'm gonna. This
Oh,
is the
good.
last one.
God,
We're
these
just
things
so
make me so
angry.
mad.
I no,
so
I'm
pissed
angry
off at these
too.
things.
3 hours in a stupid easy way, all from your computer. Well, let me show you. First, go to textbroker.com.
I do want to listen to this
Textbroker
guy
wants to
just
pay
because
you
of his
for
accent.
every word you type.
I like the accent.
Go right here to the top where it says I write content, and then go to payment. As you see, Textbroker wants to pay you $489 for typing 8,900 words.
That's a lot of words.
As you see right here, the average speaker in the US can speak about 150 words per minute.
He just
which
did
means
the
it should only
Google
take
how-
you an hour for about 9,000 words. Now, here's what makes it super easy. You don't even have to type the word yourself. Go to Google Docs and
It's
then
a
go
trend.
to Tools, and then you want to select Voice Typing. As you can see, it's typing out exactly what I'm saying right on the screen. So for a couple hours of work, you have over $900, nearly $1,000 even. So for that last hour, you're going to head to Grammarly.com and you're going to check all your work. If you want to know how to make 5 figures a month passively from home, make sure you hit follow and see my profile.
Oh man, I hate this stuff. I'm surprised you didn't say have ChatGPT write it for you, and then you.
Well, I do have another one if we want to talk about.
What I love is what's
AI writing tools.
Abundantly clear here is that neither or none of the three of these people have ever done the thing that they're saying. They botched particulars of it that show they've never done it. But they get on and say the easiest way to make $1,000. It's just so maddening. And I hope, and the one piece of solace I get is that they probably aren't that successful themselves. And that gives me a little bit of solace. I'm glad that they're not thriving.
So like I said, I want to talk about this from two different perspectives. Do you want to start with the creator side or the consumer side?
My opinions are going to be pretty.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's good.
We can talk about the consumer side. The problem is there's just a lot of desperate people. We see this all the time. Like there's just a lot of people that really need to make more money. And I think when people are desperate or they just aren't familiar with the online space, like this stuff sounds, if it sounds easy, it sounds like they don't have to put any money up front. They're like, oh, this is a good opportunity. And I just think that people just kind of like they should think more and like use a little bit more like, oh, this sounds a little bit too good to be true. But I just think there's so many people that just are very gullible out there, unfortunately. And then you got these, well, we can talk about the other people, but I if it sounds that easy to make $3 million, what do you say, $3.7 million? It's like, oh, if we just multiply the profit, like, you just multiply the number, you can be a millionaire.
And that's how you make money. It's just pull out a calculator and here's how you do it.
Divide it by how much money you want to make. Yeah, right. It's what's annoying about it is I understand the pain point that people have of wanting to make more money, but it's the age-old problem of trying to take shortcuts and trying to get rich quick. What I love about the Printful idea is it is true that if you sold designs and you sold that many, you'd make that much money. That is true. That is factual. But do you know the problem with that is you need to be a good enough designer that can sell 38,000 shirts. Okay.
Right.
Like you're not just going to show up on a TikTok and go design something that 38,000 people want to buy. So it's just trying to take shortcuts and, you'll waste 7 hours of your life when you could be, actually doing something that is, gaining a new skill or getting you ahead. So I don't know. I don't feel a whole lot of sympathy for people who like fall for these kinds of things because it's technically true, but they're not being realistic about what their actual skills are and their passions are and what they should be spending their time doing.
I think I have a considerable amount of sympathy for people that are in the situations where they get to the point where they will be like, all right, I am going to move forward with this. Because when you do have some, some expense comes up, you can't make rent, you can't make your mortgage payment, whatever it is, you are like, oh my gosh, I feel like the world is going to crumble underneath me. I feel the weight of everything on me. I need an immediate release from that. And so you're in like, I think it's a fight or flight type feeling that you have. Your brain goes to what's going to be the easiest option, not what is going to be the most logical option. And so I think it's like a biological, whatever, physiological reaction to stress in those scenarios. And I have sympathy for that. However, I think it would be, if you could in those situations kind of pause and like, is this too good to be true? I mean, it says it's so easy a 5-year-old can do it. Well, then there'd be all these like rich 5-year-olds like wandering around and they don't have their own money, like this isn't true. And I don't know.
I think of it as though it's the phrase "get rich quick" has been in existence for
we know that's
hundreds of years. So we know that is something that people fall for. The thing that gives me less sympathy in this situation is where are like this advice that you just showed us, where is it being found? On TikTok. So what you're scrolling through TikTok and someone gives you a great idea of how you can make $30,000. I don't know. I get it if you're desperate. I mean, and that's where the thing that I have sympathy for are people who end up on sort of these, Amazon Turk type things where they really are doing work for very little money. And that's that's honestly kind of that's more admirable, or that's more understandable. I think there are better things they could be doing with their time if they need to make that money, but at least they're actually doing a task. This trying to like take the shortcut to think you're going to become a wealthy person, it's a little bit even more than gullible.
It's a little same, to me. It's the same thing. Like the people that buy lottery tickets really believing that it's going to like make I think that there's a lot that goes into this. It's probably a deeper conversation, but like I think the way that you grow up and where you grow up and your family situation and parenting and education, like I think all of that stuff plays a pretty large role, because you can just tell when we get certain emails from people that would fall for this stuff. It's like nobody's ever taught them that that's not a way to make money. Like, you know, like I don't think the three of us would fall for that kind of stuff because of the way that, you know, our surroundings and I don't know, all that stuff. So it's like, I do feel for people that just don't have the resources or the structure to like realize like, this is a bad idea. That's the same people that get scammed, you know, and like they, you know, really fall into a lot of traps. I think it's worse. The weird thing about the content side of this is like this stuff, I've noticed like on TikTok and maybe even just reels in general, or like short form video, there are so many affiliate marketers that have popped up all of a sudden. And it's because it's the wild, wild west and people can say whatever they want. Like on our site, we can't do that. Like we have to actually have disclosures at the top of the page. We make money from these links. Like the FTC has actually looked at blogs, and because it's an older form of content, this stuff, it's just so it hasn't been regulated at all. So you get all these people that can just say, here, you can get rich and make $3.7 million. And they don't have to disclose that they're working with this company and trying to push you through their affiliate link to make money. Like they don't have to do that. And so I think that's the problem. You just get these like people that don't have any morals that are just trying to make some money off of affiliate commissions.
One of the jobs that they talked about, the speak to text writing job, like some of these things too, I think it aggravates, like on the consumer side, like, do you really believe this is possible? But then like, does this guy really believe, like, has he actually used the Google talk to text? And then like, you have to say period when you want a period in there. You have to say like, you can't just speak. It would just be this mess. And then thinking that Grammarly is going to solve it all, like that angers me. And then at least he said the last hour on Grammarly. He wasn't like 5 minutes on Grammarly. Like he was a little bit more realistic in terms of like, it's going to take an hour minimum. It's so ridiculous. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's tough because like the internet marketing world is riddled with like these people that do this stuff. It's really frustrating because it makes it really hard. It makes it hard to, like, when you're a legitimate company, you have to wade through that stuff because of all I feel like the damage that these people do to just consumer trust. And like the fact that somebody could sit there and call the company the wrong name, not disclose that they have an affiliate relationship with them, and just pretend like you can just print free money. Like that's not how anything works. You don't become wealthy like that. And they know that. I think that it's just, there's a desperation for becoming like famous on TikTok or, like really getting traction. So I think people will just say whatever they want. It's also to try to get traction.
Like moving on to the people who create these things. Yeah. This is their hustle. Like, and they literally, like the guy was literally called whatever the hustler, like this hustle culture and the hustle influencers. They're not doing the Printful stuff, obviously, and it's probably not a good idea for anybody to do it, but they're certainly not doing it because what they're doing is collecting these lists and then going on little podcasts and spouting this stuff and getting their clout from that. That to me is like especially just nasty. And it's also kind of, I mean, like it'd be like us saying, "Oh, there's an easy way to make money. Start a blog, get affiliates, get a lot of traffic to your website. Like it's just easy. Look how easy it is." It's like, no, you just said how it happens, but it takes skill and time and effort and a lot of people and resources, and so it's really pretty icky, actually. The whole entire hustler influencer side of it.
It feels like it would ultimately be. I mean, this is my hope. Is that it would be damaging to you as a brand. Like if we were to start producing content like that, that's like, hey, become a proofreader and make $20,000 a month in 2 weeks or like $20,000 a month in 2 weeks.
You need to proofread
Yeah.
that sentence.
That would be incorrect if somebody said that to you. That would automatically be a red flag. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that seems like that would just be damaging to you as a brand or a company to just give these outrageous claims. And then, because, you know, one of you said something about the trust. How do you build trust with people? And what is your ultimate goal with, like, I think for us, it's been like building a relationship with our readers and our audience. I think these people, these guys that we just watched, they're not trying to build a relationship. They're just like, please click on something so I can get money.
Right. And they just
Right
have
now.
formulations of, here's a list of ways that you could potentially put something together to make money. And then maybe one or two people have made that amount of money on it.
Right.
I mean, obviously there's a huge distinction between what we do. Like in our courses, for example, we are telling people like, there's a way out. There's a way to make more money. You can gain new skills, but we're teaching them the skills. We're coaching them into how they can actually apply the skills. We're helping them get their first client.
Yeah.
So,
and realistic
those are
about the
just completely
time that it takes
Right.
to do something.
yeah.
You know?
And that all just, I mean, it just keeps coming back to they're trying to tell you can get rich quick, and people are wanting to believe they can get rich quick. And realistically, you can't get rich quick.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's just, it's easy to make money. You just have to work harder than everybody else. Like especially in the online space, like that's what it is. I mean, cause a lot of people fall for this stuff and then they try and then they give up after 2 days or whatever. Like there probably is, I mean, he was talking about freelance writing. Like you can legitimately make a good, good living freelance writing. They just, I don't know. It's like you have people trying to get rich by trying to teach other people how to get rich, and nobody's actually gotten rich. Like, so you get like the blind leading the blind. But what I have seen, I've been doing this, I think, for 8 years now. These people come and go so fast. Like you just see these people just disappear into oblivion because you can't build a business that way. Like that's not a real, you can burn through a lot of people and you can, I don't know, but it runs out. It's a Ponzi scheme kind of thing sometimes. And a lot of these people just don't have any actual success at all. They just are pretending that they do.
That's for
rampant in the
18-year-olds
internet space.
who are copying other people they've seen on TikTok. So
Yeah.
Yep,
I think that's one thing that
trash.
like is interesting. Like the first video that we watched too, like the quality looked decent. You know, he's got like a better background than Michael's bedroom. Maybe this is a great back room today.
Dang. Shots fired. Man down.
But
very backlit today.
no, you look lovely, Michael. The
No, I really
sun
don't, but
hitting
I
your
appreciate it.
your
No,
shoulders, your
you look
seersucker,
healthy and,
vibrant.
vibrant. And we are a vibrant media company, so that's good.
This is important. But no, the first guy, like the video quality looked, looked okay. Like it's not, wouldn't be a style that I would want to do, but it looked decent. And so like, I think people are like, oh, well, I trust this guy because this seems like he knows what he's talking about because the video quality looks good. And it's like, well, you could pay somebody $15 on Fiverr probably to do something, put that together. It
I
doesn't
don't like
take much.
I don't like the fake podcast thing. Like there's some people that I've seen a guy that does, he's in the fitness space, but he does a background, like the curtain behind Joe Rogan's, guests. And he's like pretending like he's on the Joe Rogan podcast talking. And it's just like, it's such a dumb, like somebody's like,
That one's actually pretty clever. We might use that one.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing it and it's like clearly a joke or something, but like if you're trying to do it to like get clout, like it's just that stuff is so dumb. It's easier. This is what I've never understood. It's easier to build a real business than it is to like build these like scammy crap businesses and like just try to make that work. Like it's just easier to just be a legitimate person.
You're like
build a real
spinning
business.
imaginary plates and it's just all a mirage. It's really,
it's like,
it is easier just to go and build an agency and actually deliver some kind of product.
Well, and going back to the question at the beginning about like, did you lie to your parents in high school? Like, I said I did lie to my parents occasionally in high school, and it's like harder to then keep up with the lies than just to have been honest to begin with. And I feel like that's the same, that applies here as well. Like just build a real business that does things than try to change your fake imaginary money printer business into something that is valuable over time.
What does drive me nuts is that these people come and go, but sometimes they actually make it. Like Ty Lopez is a really good example of this. I don't know if you've seen his stuff. When he started out, it was like all that. Like it was just
I think he was pretty well the first. I mean, that he got
was,
in that weird space where you couldn't tell if he was real or not.
He just talks circles and like he would just sell garbage to people. And then now he's actually bought like legitimate companies. And like, I think he made enough money hustling people that he was able to spin that into a real business, which I hate that. But
Yeah.
I feel like karma, I mean, eventually karma gets you, you know, it has to.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't sometimes.
Do you think these people, like when after they finish recording and sharing, do they feel good about themselves when they go to bed?
Probably. I think it's easy to convince yourself anything's a good idea. Like, I think that they probably just like, yeah, I'm really helping people here. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think people
they're
would probably
excited
lie to
about a
themselves.
vacation that they're going to go on or something, you know, like they've made money. That's all
Maybe.
that
I don't know.
matters.
It's either that or they're like deeply unhappy. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's either they've lied to themselves or they're just really, really sad.
I'm really interested in what Michael has going on.
Michael, yeah, I was going to say Michael's making a bunch of faces here. Okay. Oh, that kid's mad.
No,
There's an invisible force field between him and his dad, so I can understand why he's upset.
All right, so questionable decision. I mean, yes, absolutely, all around.
Yeah,
No,
I think on
all the way
both
around.
sides.
not a whole lot of redeemable here.
Mm-hmm. I have a little more sympathy than Michael, and maybe a little bit more sympathy than Bobby, or maybe we're on the same page sympathy wise for the consumer.
Yeah.
And what it comes down to is,
But-
I mean, sure, if someone fell into it, okay, you always have sympathy for that. And it's not like we have some huge audience listening to us. But the one thing that would be my takeaway is don't think there's some shortcut. You have to
No.
apply yourself. You have to apply your skills. You have to gain new skills. You have to work hard, period. And there may be 3 or 4, there may be a couple people who can fake it until they make it. But like, is that really the route you want to take? Why not just work? Why not just grind it out and build something?
Yeah,
And-
Bobby, how long did it take you to make money blogging?
Blogging? Oh, a long time. I was making money with digital marketing before that, but the blog didn't start making money until, God, maybe a year into it. And that was like with really working on it. And like I'd quit my teaching job and I was like hustling a lot.
Working a
takes a long
full-time
time.
job that you are not being paid for. And, you know, it's often talked about as
Yeah.
like I think it was more so years ago, but talked about as here's an easy way to make money fast.
Yeah. But, you know, it's one of those things. It's like what Michael said. It's like, do you really want to do you really want to build your business or try to build a business by just like scamming people? It feels really like it's very fulfilling now. Like I worked so hard and then now it's like I'm able to actually have employees and like we're building a really, really cool business. And like that's very fulfilling, but it's super hard in the beginning. But man, if you just like try to scam people quickly for money, like, it's just I don't know. I can't feel good.
Well, I'm glad we're all on the same page about this.
Yeah. Internet marketers suck. Like, I don't know.
trust them.
The internet's littered with this stuff. So if somebody doesn't disclose, if somebody calls the product the wrong name, that's a red flag. And if they don't
Yeah.
disclose
That
that
was
they're working
pathetic.
with them, that's a red flag too. Just,
It sounds too good to be true. Don't follow
Yeah.
everything you see online is actually more difficult than it really is. I think that's
they say
another
get
one.
rich. If they throw those words out,
If
you
they
wanna
say a
get rich
5-year-old could do
quick?
this,
Yeah, those are
an
those are-
11-year-old
yeah,
could do
man.
this.
Well, you know what a 5-year-old could do? Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yep.
We thank you for listening today. We will be back next week with another episode. If you want to text us, ask us a question, tell us what you think, there's a number in the description. Sign up for our email list, and we'll be back next week with another episode.
I want you to text us the worst lie that you ever told your parents.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what I want. So get on it, guys. All right.
Get on it, guys.
Get on.
Bye.